Okay, guys, welcome to Back to the Nets, your one-stop channel for unbiased views and analysis on games, teams, the players, transfer news, and everything about Arsenal. With us here, we have Samved and Keyur. Samved is currently in Bombay. I am Elroy from Goa, and we have Keyur, who's currently in the US. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hi guys.
So, guys, do you guys have anything to add before we begin?
No, let's just dive right into it.
Okay, so we have a lot that's been going on. We start another big season tomorrow with an away trip to Fulham, and this has been quite a difficult or different period for us. There's no proper preseason, and the team has not got a lot of time, maybe with the new signings. But yeah, we have made three signings so far. That is signing Ceballos back on loan, getting Gabriel and William. So, guys, what do you think in terms of the current squad? Based on the signings that we made and the current squad that we have, how do you think we stand? What is this team like?
All right. So I think that we've definitely made improvements to our squad. Squad really wasn't a big issue even last year. I think we had invested very wisely. A few areas I think were left unchecked. So we really needed some good personnel in defense, which I think we have done this year. Although we had signed Saliba last year, but I think the deal was such that he could only join us this season. But the squad definitely looks improved. I think more importantly, the biggest takeaway for me from this transfer window is Aubameyang signing on. I think that really gives us a very big boost. Although the last such big signing didn't really work out, as we all know. Mesut has been off the radar for quite a while. But I think that when one of the problems with Arsenal in the recent years has been that our star players, uh, going as far as maybe 2-3 seasons back, people like Alexis leaving. So Aubameyang staying on gives us a big boost, especially going into the next season. It also shows that the people in the squad, our star players, really believe in Mikel Arteta. And I think that is a very good sign.
Yeah. So, Keyur, if based on what the players that we have so far, what do you think is our best lineup or the best formation that we would have to go ahead with?
I feel, and this is just speaking out from prior experience, I do feel that Saliba might be ready considering Arteta has played him a few times. Not so sure about Gabriel, plus the quarantine protocol that he was put.
Yeah.
He recently joined in the squad with the training not too long ago. So I do feel that, and with Luis being injured, I feel that Holding is starting for sure tomorrow.
Yeah.
I feel Saliba might be joining him as well. And if we do think about a traditional four, I mean 3-2-3-4-3 that Arteta has been playing with, I feel that those would be the three centre backs that we might have: uh,
Yeah.
Holding, and Saliba, and Saka goes in front, Ashley Maitland-Niles on the other side, and Ceballos. And I'm not that sure about Ceballos though. I think that he might be on the bench, but I think Xhaka might start with El Neni, and that's just from what we have seen so far in preseason. But and Xhaka's just got back. Maybe he is already there, but don't really know. And top three of Oba, Willian, and Laka. Pepe,
I
sorry.
think yeah, I think the front four looks like is going to be Oba, Laka, and Pepe, and Villain just behind them. I think it's about the other two. I don't really think that Ceballos is going to start. I don't think he's had enough time with the squad after he's rejoined. So Xhaka is definitely going to start. I won't be surprised if even Ozil gets a run. I'm not really sure, if he's in the squad. I think, Ozil might get a chance. I just have a feeling either off the bench or just starting. And defense, I don't think, I would differ from KU. I think it looks like, we're going to play three center halves and two wing backs. So let's see. It's just the first game of the season. A lot of players are yet to join full training with the squad. So I think, the first couple of games is just going to be a bit of a trial and error. Maybe we'll get a hang of our exact formation, style of play, and the best possible starting lineup
Yeah.
as we, get closer to maybe this month end or the next month.
Yeah, speaking of the formation and the lineup, one of the most the top that has been quite a topic is the fact that we are definitely starting off with three at the back this time until Arteta gets the players that he wants and probably till the players settle in. Because in an ideal situation, Gabriel and Saliba are good players at the back four, but maybe they are not ready yet, and someone like Luis in the middle would help them out. So, considering the fact that either we go with the 3-4-3 formation or the rumored Arsenal, Arteta wants the 4-3-3 eventually. Who do you guys feel will make a difference into the squad? Like, which are the positions you feel, will improve the current squad? To make
Sorry.
realistically another one or two signings to improve what we have.
I think we definitely
So, who
need
would
a
be
box to
the
box. Yeah. I think we definitely need a box to box midfielder. I don't think, we've filled the void left behind by Aaron Ramsey. What we missed last season was definitely, his role in the team and also the kind of goals that he used to score coming from deep. I don't think we have a player of that quality in this squad yet. So I would be surprised, if you don't sign somebody in a similar mold. I think as far as our creativity and attack goes, I think we have the right personnel, the backups. We apart from the front three that we have, we have good
do
backups
you
also.
have any particular
No, you see, ideally, I would prefer for Arsenal to sign back Aaron Ramsey, but I really am not sure if that is going to happen. But I really know. For me, I don't think that anyone would fit that kind of a role in the kind of budget that Arsenal has. So that's my personal
Okay.
opinion.
Who do you feel? Do you agree with Samrit, or do you have any other positions that you feel that Arsenal need to prioritize right now?
See, for me, I feel that we still need that a creative midfielder whose job is to just have that vision. And I know Ozil the last 2 years has not been what he has been, but from the way I look at it, when Ozil was in his prime, there was no one even close to him.
Yeah,
He was just a class apart from everybody. I do feel that unless we sign Hossein Moyer from Lyon, I think our best bet in the midfield still to create somebody is sitting on the bench or not even on the bench. And I think this year he might get a chance to at least start from the 60th, 50th minute. I don't know what kind of confidence he gains going forward, but I feel that Arteta's vision was Willian would be probably the guy who creates from the midfield. So let's just trust the boss. I feel we can just sit back and watch. The other thing that I feel is, especially with Fulham, with the 4-3-3 that they like to play, I do feel that it makes more sense for us to, flex all our offensive abilities in the first few games, because traditionally in the last few years, I think we have not been the best of starters.
Yes.
The year before this, I think last year was the first time that we won the first two home games. But before that, it
Yeah,
was
actually, it was quite a long time since we
right.
won
It's been a while
two
since
back.
we have won the first two home games. I think it was last 2009, 2010. Everton 6-1,
Okay.
and I think it was who was it? Portsmouth 4-0.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it
before
has
that,
been quite.
having a good backing and confidence, and I think the year before that was just tragic. We got City and Chelsea in the first two, and
Yeah,
it
that
was
was
Yeah, I think the first 4-5 games were really difficult for us.
And yes, and considering how we have an amazing schedule till I think December, we have
Mhm.
all our away games with Big Six in the. We have Everton, who let's just face it, are will be a contender for the Big Six this year,
Yeah.
first full
Definitely.
year. So I think
You
some
know,
creative
coming
brains will
coming
be
back
behind
to
the scenes.
sorry, coming back to Mesut Ozil, I think even at this stage of his career, when he's way past his prime, I don't think we have a better playmaker in our squad. So, given the kind of games that we have coming up, I really think this could be a good opportunity to give Mesut another try, just to see, if he can get back to doing what he does best. And if it clicks, then, nothing like it. I really think that a player like him, deserves to be playing at least 75% of our games, because you look at his fitness record also. He's unlike our other squad players. He's really been very fit. Then he hasn't got too many injuries, not just during his time with us, but even before that. Some may say that it is because he doesn't give his everything, but I really don't think that's a valid argument.
I
No,
think tactically, if you see in terms of Ozil, one thing that he lacks when you compare him maybe to someone like maybe a KDB is the fact
Mhm.
that work rate. That I mean, Ozil actually does show that work rate, but the problem with Ozil is put one player to mark him continuously, and you've automatically taken away the entire
Mhm.
creative part from the team. So, and I guess that is one of the major limitations what I feel with the current way the game is played, that he does tend to suffer with that. But then at the same time, he's that one player who can bring that moment of magic for us definitely and unlock a defense. He has not shown it off late, but really, really hope that he can give it to us whenever he's called upon.
and I always believe that with Ozil in the squad, you have 11.5 players to attack and 10 players to defend with.
Hmm.
You know he's no use defensively, but attacking he gives that extra little bit of thing that no other creative midfielder currently in our squad can offer.
Definitely. Villain also, I think.
And like currently, but yeah,
So I was saying, Villain
no, it's
also,
okay. Go ahead.
he's more of a goal scoring midfielder. If you look at his record, he's not somebody who creates as many chances as Ozil. So definitely it'll give us an attacking edge. But given the kind of top three that we have, front three, I really think that we need someone with the creative flair of Mesut Ozil behind them.
I think if you look at it last year, when Emery struggled with it, Emery struggled to connect the defense and the attack because our midfield and the MD is quite bad. Arteta came and strengthened the defense for sure, and he did try to improve the midfield and attack, which was good. But our main attacks tend to come from the wings. Our major gameplay comes from the wings, and so our center is quite the problem. And that is where someone like Mesut will definitely help us out. But one person who did the role of linking the midfield and attack last season was, and he'll probably get the second role, is Lacazette, who used to drop extremely deep, try to win the ball and connect the attack. He tried
Yeah,
that a lot, and he did quite well with that. So now there are a lot of talks of his exit also, like he being linked to that. But at the same time, the way he's being used by Arteta is quite interesting. So, what are your thoughts on Lacazette right now? Would you be open to selling him, or is he very crucial to the game based on the role he plays?
I think we'll be nuts to sell a player like Lacazette, because he just brings so much to the team. Like you said, it's not just his present up front where he gets the other two attackers in the game. He also tracks back and helps us build from the back. If you watch our games, especially against the top 3-4 teams, you'll see that Lacazette spends most of his time inside our half, trying to be that link between attack and our defense. So when you have a player like that, it's not just that he, even if he's not scoring goals, he's definitely bringing Aubameyang and Pepe into the game. I think that is we we don't have a player like that in our squad. The closest, I think he's definitely a big upgrade on Giroud. Giroud used to play a similar role, with Alexis
Yeah,
and Mesut Ozil. But I think Lacazette is definitely an improvement. Unless we can get somebody better or somebody equally good to replace him, I really don't see the point in selling him.
yeah. And right now, I don't think there is anyone available also. So,
Hmm.
one of the issues when you have to sell a player is to see if there is somebody better, and if it's not available, then it doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah, definitely, because it will again be like we are strengthening a few areas and then we are weakening the other areas. So I
Exactly.
don't really think that would make any sense unless we can get uh, Martinelli back,
Yeah,
which doesn't
and
seem
he's
like
not going to be until the end of the
yeah.
year.
At least in
Can
this
you?
transfer window, I really don't see us
Yeah,
selling.
this it doesn't make.
Maybe maybe next year or possibly in January. But
Yeah,
I mean, I really don't see the need.
yeah. So can you right now, if taking Lacazette apart, we have two other very important players. One is Aubameyang, who is hopefully going to announce his contract very soon. How important was his contract? And the second player we are talking about is Nicolas Pepe, who had a season which was quite had a lot of ups and downs, and there's a lot of expectation from him. What is your take on these two players? How important was it for Aubameyang to sign the contract, and what are your expectations from Pepe this season?
Aubameyang, I feel the biggest thing with Aubameyang's contract signing was, I mean, given that he is probably the best finisher we have had since Robin van Persie, I feel the biggest thing with Aubameyang signing the contract was the fact that we have announced that we are now more a feeder club. Even when we
Yeah,
went out of the Champions League, Aubameyang signing the contract was more like a statement that he is our best player and he's staying. I would have loved to have Ramsey stay just because of the fact that, and Ramsey was a hit and miss for me. Like sometimes he would give you the best 5, 6 games in a row, and then he would just be like, absolutely horrible. He was not Iwobi bad, but he would be bad in the next few games. But with Ramsey, I was more with the intent that this is a legend. He has stuck with us. He rejected
yeah,
United. He stuck with us. And
yeah,
we have still got that thing where Ramsey retired and we are Arsenal. We are announcing ourselves as the guy that the big players want to stay with us. With
yeah,
Aubameyang and his given history that he likes to jump around a little bit, it's a massive statement. It's a massive statement just from the goal standpoint. Even if he gives us, let's say, 20 to 25 goals this year, I think his place, just the factor that he is in there, it's good enough to keep two defenders on him. So give space to Villan, give space to Pepe, give space to the likes from the back. Hopefully, Hasim Oyer. Pepe has been one, I think, the only one who probably was attacking more directly.
yeah,
Uh, Never been a fan of that tiki taka, pass the ball into the net. So with
yeah.
Pepe, we had that one final winger who had the ability to score from the outside, inside,
Exactly.
cut
It's
back in.
very
And I think that his crosses can still improve. But nonetheless, I mean, over the head crosses can improve. He's still good when it comes to going back in and cutting the ball back. Still good there. But Pepe, I think this will be the season when he announces himself big time. Last year, he was good with the assists. I think this year, with Arteta being a little bit more direct, Villan coming in who also wants to attack through the center, I think we have added that third dimension that we wanted, not just the two
yes,
sides, but now we will be attacking through the center as well.
Yeah, just to add to it, the fact that Aubameyang is extending his contract, it shows that there is definitely a project under Arteta. And it's not just something that we are just planning to get back into the top four and remain there for the financial reasons. It shows that there is definitely intent at the club to not just be in the top four but to compete for the top honors. And I think that is what has been missing in the last 3 years, or even before that. We were definitely competing in the FA Cup, but apart from that we've never really I think the last time we were in contention was the season in which Leicester City won.
yes,
But before that and since after that we haven't really been shown any kind of desire to
exactly.
compete for either the Champions League or the Premier League. I think Champions League is definitely to be in contention for Champions League. We are definitely far off. But Premier League, maybe in a couple of seasons, I think it seems likely. I'm not saying that we are definitely going to win, but we will be in contention in the next couple of seasons.
So if I have to put it like getting into contention, like there are two players who are highly linked to us right now, two different, and as both of you have mentioned, one is Thomas Partey and one is Hassan. Now both of them are quality players, and if we manage to get both of them, it definitely makes our squad, at least takes us to the back to the Champions League for sure. Like those two players
Definitely.
can. How important is it that we sign these two players? And if we can't get them, would you guys be okay with us, like, going into the season with what we have, or should we go for some? Do you have any other players in mind that would, like, we would go for?
I really don't think that apart from these two players, bringing in anyone else would be an improvement to the squad that we already have. So if we don't get these two players, I think we should just stick with the squad that we have. We do have a very good quality squad, barring few injuries. And apart from that, let's not forget the kind of prospects that we have from our academy coming up. So none of us have mentioned the likes of Saka,
Oh
Reece
yeah,
Nelson. So these guys are definitely they will have a very big role to play. I won't be surprised if we see Saka starting and just building his place in the side. And same with Maitland Niles also. I think if it's a choice between Maitland Niles and Hector Bellerin, then I think that the Arsenal board is going to stick with Maitland Niles and let go of Hector Bellerin. Obviously
because
there
he
are
can get it
financial
done.
reasons
Yeah,
for it,
financial.
and obviously it's not like especially after his injury, I don't think Hector has been at his best. We can't really blame him for that, but I do think that in Maitland Niles we have a very good player who can play to the center on the wings, and we have a lot of very exciting prospects coming up from our academy. Reece Nelson and guys like Smith Rowe. So unless we get the two players that we were talking about, there's really no point in going for somebody who may not be at that same level. Maybe we can try again to improve our squad maybe in January or the next transfer season. But again, it will be like carrying deadwood if we sign someone else.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's just
And we've suffered with that from the past. We don't
yeah,
want to make that
definitely.
mistake.
We've
So
seen
can you?
it's
Yeah,
our challenges are more we've already always had this challenge,
yeah.
trying to get rid of the dead wood.
Yeah, good. It's a constant
I
problem for us every window. There are
yes,
always.
definitely.
I
So
think
can you,
that
if
is the
you
big
had to
problem.
print,
I said,
if you
I
had
mean, we have right now got 8 defenders who will all
eight
be fighting for
defenders,
the
which
first
is,
place.
yeah, but that itself is a big. I think one of the
And
biggest headaches
these
is,
all these defenders that we have, barring maybe the top 3-4 clubs, they could be in contention to start in the starting 11 of any other team in the league. So our defense is actually that good, the backups included. You see guys like Rob Holding, Callum Chambers, if leave out the top 3-4 teams, I think they would walk into any other team.
I
Maybe
believe
we,
that
we we do need
some of the
to.
defenders that are not tested, Mavropanos, for instance, he has not got a
yeah,
consistent run. Mustafi can be sold. Mustafi has, but he has improved massively under
he
Arteta.
has improved. He has it.
Definitely.
He has
So I think
improved a
one of
lot.
one
Yeah,
of
I
the
think
names who's
Mavropanos
current.
is most likely going to go out on loan.
He's already on loan. He's
Yeah,
already
yeah,
He's
on
he's
already
loan
on.
already
actually.
on
But
loan.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I guess the first exit will probably be Socrates, and I think, yeah, I mean, I like him as a defender. He's a good defender, but he's not the type of centre back that Arteta probably wants. Someone who's comfortable on the ball,
yeah,
who's,
definitely.
who's
He doesn't
yeah,
look comfortable on the ball.
yeah,
He is really good with tackling and everything, but the kind of setup that we are looking to have, I don't
yeah.
think he really fits the bill. I think Callum Chambers is an excellent player if we are looking for a defender in that mold, because we've seen he's really very comfortable with the ball. and he also gives us an option for the right back or right wing back, depending on what kind of formation we have. If I'm not wrong, he's actually played defensive midfield for Fulham last
For
time around
Fulham.
when they were in the league. So, he is actually a football playing defender. He isn't just a tackler. So
Okay,
definitely,
but
we are.
if I had to just put this question across to you guys, now we currently have 8 active centre backs. Ideally, we are definitely not going ahead with 8 centre backs. Mostly, we will definitely get rid of 2. But I'm just putting a question across to you guys. Say you have to get rid of 3 centre backs. Okay, uh, who would the 3 be? Like, who would be your 3 that you would
Uh,
first get?
for me, it would be Socrates,
Yeah.
then Rob Holding out on loan,
Okay.
and maybe Callum Chambers on loan.
Okay, your choice.
I would. I mean, as much as I say that Mustafi has improved, I don't think a player with at 28 would like to be on the bench as a backup, especially when he is a forward for Germany. So selling him would be a better choice. I would sell him. Callum Chambers again, 24, 25. He is a good DM more than he is a centre back. So, but again, considering how vast our centre back pool is, if we get the right money for these 2 guys, I would definitely sell these. And Bellerin. Bellerin, we have enough right backs. Right now, we do have, and Kolasinac. I would sell him as well.
Yeah, I think everybody would want him gone right now
And
because
with
Again,
Bellerin,
he
I
offers.
think that
it's
he
not.
can land in PSG or he
He's
can
a
go in
really
Barcelona.
nice guy and everything, but I don't think
But
he.
not up to the Arsenal quality.
He's
Yeah,
not.
We are being
definitely.
honest.
And
Okay.
it also shows you that players who are really hyped in Bundesliga,
Yeah.
most of them, at least the defenders, they find it very difficult in the Premier League.
Very. Yeah.
So maybe
Okay.
next time we have to go shopping for defenders, we really shouldn't go to Germany.
Good. Okay. Let me now. This is one very interesting point that has happened. From last night, we've got a lot of news that Emi Martinez is most likely to leave Arsenal, and the quoted fee is around 20 million, and he's probably going to go to Aston Villa. That is the news. What is, I mean, do you guys feel this is okay? It makes practical sense, or Arsenal should do more? Like, what is your thoughts on this? Like, everybody has contrasting arguments with regards to this. I have one which I'll save it for later. But what is your thoughts on the Emi Martinez situation?
I'm absolutely gutted about this news, but I definitely understand when you have 2 really high quality goalkeepers with very little to differentiate them. And both of them deserve to be number 1. And maybe if not in the same team, then it makes sense
Yeah,
because see, if you look at it from Emmy's point of view, it's not just
exactly.
about his place in the Arsenal. He's
Yeah,
also fighting for the number 1 spot for Argentina. And for him to do that, he really needs to be playing week in and week out. So I am absolutely devastated, because he just feels like one of us. And I
yeah.
think we've all been following him right from the time,
Right for
at
the
least
Arsenal.
half a decade, right from the time when
Yeah,
he made his first few appearances for us in the League Cup, and then he went out on loan spells. Definitely a very high quality keeper, but I think Leno just has the slight edge over him. And Leno has
yeah,
really done a job for us in the last season. Based on just a few appearances of Emmy, I think it will be very unfair on Leno if he had to leave. I
yes.
think, given the choice that we have, it makes sense. I would have loved for both of them to stay. But I really understand, if he wants to leave. I just hope he doesn't join a direct rival. I think he's most likely going to join Newcastle,
Aston
is
Villa.
it?
Aston Villa. Aston. No, I think somewhere you summed up my thoughts also exactly. That is exactly what I feel about this whole situation. So, KU, coming
Agree.
back to you, uh, another player who is highly linked with the move away, and most of the people are okay with it, but see, there's Lucas Torreira. a player who, when he signed for us, was filled with potential. Many of us jumped the gun and said that he's the next Vieira. Looking at his performance against Tottenham, Liverpool in the first half of the season, he was a good tackler, but a lot of things didn't go his way. And right now, he's one of the main players who's been looked to be sold out. So, are you okay with that, or what was your thoughts on Torreira?
So let me start with there is no next Vieira. There is only one Vieira.
Exactly.
so, so I'm okay with him leaving. I mean, he's good going forward. Uh, Going back, if the ball is over him, the turning time by the time he turns around, he's not as fast as we would like him to be. If we get the right price, if he's going overseas, I would be okay with him. And no, I mean, he was pretty much a spectator for the past second half of the season. So I don't think, his loss would even be that I mean, it won't add any value. It won't make our team look bad. But the biggest thing that we need is either one of those two have to come in there, or Partey. One of them has to
Yes.
join in just to solidify our chances.
Yeah, because if you see, the central midfield is a position that is very badly requires improvement for sure. The fact that last season one of our highest goal scorers was Joe Miller, and that too he scored just one in the Premier League, I think, and the remaining in other competition. And Xhaka scored one. I mean, the goals from the center of the park were very limited, and that is something which requires major improvement. So the focus on getting someone like Thomas Partey has never been more important than this, because that will be the difference between taking us from a top 16 to a top 14 first. Okay, guys. So new season is starting. Based on even if you have to predict the signings that we get, somewhere let me start with you. What is the expected position? Which position do you feel that we will end up with this season?
I think see, Liverpool and Man City definitely are heads and shoulders above everyone else right now.
Yeah.
I think we really are in contention for the next two places, third and fourth. And anything less than a top four finish, I think would be a real shame for us, because we do have the squad. It's not like we didn't have a good enough squad last time also. The last time's result, it is horrifying, except for the FA Cup. If you just look at the season alone, it's just not up to the Arsenal standards. And the team had actually improved from what it was under Wenger, at least the personnel.
Yeah.
Just that we didn't have the right people leading our staff, the non-playing staff. That was the biggest issue. With Mikel Arteta, I think, especially with him being appointed as a full-time manager, that is the kind of system that really works for Arsenal. I think anything less than a top four finish would really again be a big shame for us if we finish out of the top four. In terms of attention for trophies, I think FA Cup again.
That's always our
We seem to win it back to back. So definitely, I'm hoping that we'll win the FA Cup again. League Cup, I don't really care much about. I think it's just something for us to run our under 23 kids out. And the Europa League again, definitely, it's just an insurance policy for us to guarantee the Champions League next season. And I really think that we need to be stronger in Europe, at least a semi-final finish in Europa. So that's my expectation from the team.
Your predictions?
If I have to be asked, I don't think we will finish in the top four. We will be close fifth, but I think we will be in the last four for in Europe. In UEFA, I think we will be in the last four. And FA Cup is, anyone. If you ask me, with the bench that we have, we may not always start the top 11 like people like Emil Smith Rowe. Arteta sees them in the plan, so I think he will be more used in the FA Cup rather than this. And youngsters can have a one-off day. So FA Cup, if it comes our way, good. If it doesn't, I won't be too bummed. But I would like to be in the top four or top two in Europe.
If I had to say, I think
What about you, Roy?
I think that we might finish fifth. It is definitely between fourth and fifth. But then, as I said, the next two signings, the signings that we make will be the difference. We get the right players, and I feel that we are automatically a top four team, and I could predict the fourth finish. But if we don't get those two players, then it's just going to be a bit difficult to sustain the challenge for top four. A cup would definitely be better, and ideally, hopefully, we can get the European trophy this time. It's going to be a bit difficult because the teams in the Europa League this year are quite challenging. Those who have dropped out. But yeah, the at the end of the day, the key factor behind the entire Arsenal squad right now is Mikel Arteta. He's the one who brings us hope and who's giving us, irrespective of what the squad is, he's the one who's making us believe. So hopefully. And coming to that note, we are playing Fulham tomorrow at 5 p.m. IST. 12:30 kickoff. Guys, what's our prediction? Okay, I'll start with. What is your prediction for tomorrow?
For tomorrow, 4-1.
Yeah. Oh, and go. Somewhere.
4-1. I feel Aubameyang will score 2, Pepe will score 1, and I think, and this is just me keeping my fingers crossed, Ozil will score 1 from the bench.
Oh,
And
that's
we
it.
will give away a needless header from a cross for Mitrovic.
Okay, somewhere.
I think 2-0 or 3-0, most likely 3-0, because Fulham, even though they've been promoted, they really struggled in the championship last year. Somehow they finished in the playoff position, and they were lucky to be promoted. They haven't really improved their squad. So, given that, I really think our defense will hold at least against teams like Fulham. I think, 3-0 Aubameyang, Pepe, and possibly Willian scoring for us. What about you?
I think I'll go with a 2-1 victory. Like somehow Arsenal has never. It's as we said. Like the last time we actually played a team out of the park was back in 2009 when we defeated Everton 6-1. But I don't see that. But it will be a tough one, but away game. But yeah, I'm looking for a 2-1 victory. So hopefully we should come
All
back and
three of
then
us
we
are
will be-
predicting a victory. Let's hope.
Let's really go.
As
Yeah,
long as we
at
win,
least
I'll be happy.
Yeah,
Definitely.
3 points
Same
is
here.
what we need, and come 2 hours after the kickoff, as long as we can tweet about it that we are top of the table, more than enough.
Exactly.
So, guys, I think that should be all for today. We've covered a lot in terms of things. Now, let's see. We will be back with more, more pre-match, post-match discussions or further pre-match discussions. The transfer window is still slightly less than a month away from being closed, so a lot of activity on that front. And as we know, when it comes to Arsenal, we are never short of any drama. The news will always be there, whether it's good or bad. So lots to discuss in the future, and we look forward to having, having more such discussions. So, guys, I think it's good enough for today. Hopefully, we win tomorrow, and let's catch up after that.
Yeah, let's do that soon.
Sounds good.
Right, thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.